Okay, this video is to go over homework packet 4B for geometry. So let's look at page 1 on problem number 10 on lesson 4.07. Lesson 4.07, just write it over here. Lesson 4.07, problem number 10. So it said, suppose you dilate the square by the factor 2. How does the area of the dilated square compare to the area of the original square? So goal is to find out how many times the bigger square is, how many times the dilated square is bigger than the original one. So what we know is we're talking about the squares, big one and small one, and we scale by 2. Okay, so we have a square here, and then you're going to make it bigger because you scale it by 2. If you scale it by 2, that means each length is twice as long. Scale by 2 means each length is twice longer. Okay? Then what would happen to the area? Area would be how many times bigger? Okay? I would recommend you to use some numbers, so maybe you can make some examples for maybe this square is whatever number times whatever you pick, and then scale each length twice as long and find out the area, then compare those two areas to see if what happens. Okay, now let's look at lesson 4.8. Problem number 9. So the goal is to draw, so it says number 9, draw any polygon, which is on page 3. Scale it by 2 using the ratio method. Let the center of dilation be as given. So you have 4 parts of this problem. It says outside a polygon. What would happen if you let the center of dilation outside a polygon, B inside a polygon, C on the polygon, and then D, you have to explain how the location of the center of dilation affects the scaled copy. So the goal is to draw scaled copies using ratio method. Givens are, we are talking about polygon, and it's scaled by 2. So draw any polygon you want. Okay, so I'm going to do part A, for example, so that you can do part B and C by yourself. Let's take a, so part A, we have to take the center of dilation outside a polygon. So for example here, let's take that as center of dilation. Okay, and then the ratio method, you're going to draw a ray. Okay, so if this is, so you're going to draw a ray. Okay, and then you're going to make the distance from here to here twice as long. So you go 1 and about 2 here. So you take the point here, right? Because you're scaling by 2. So you do each ray, you make each ray twice as long. And you do that to the center of dilation to vertex. Keep going because it's a ray. Take that segment, make it twice as long because we are scaling by 2, right? Keep doing the same thing. Take that piece, make it twice as long. Take that segment, twice as long. Twice as long. Then you connect those new points and that's going to give you a dilated, bigger version of the original one. You might want to use rulers so that it doesn't come out like this, but that's basically how you do it. And for part B, you take that center inside of this polygon, and then part C, you're going to do that on the polygon. And then D, explain how does that affect the scaled copies.